there, Lindsay Walden back with you, and for today's video blog, we are actually digging more into the attachment styles. Specifically today, we're going to talk about the anxious preoccupied attachment style, but before I dig into that, I want to remind you that if you haven't taken your quiz yet, the link is available in the description of this video, and then I want you to be mindful of the fact that no one is 100% any type. We're all a mixture of things. So as I talk about the various styles, I don't want you to hear it as a label or as something that means you're wrong, you're broken, you need to be fixed. That's not how I approach this. I look at the process of uncovering the attachment styles as a way to understand yourself better, to know more about how you are showing up in your life, in your relationships, and then also to give you a roadmap to better understand some of the pitfalls that may show up for you. Okay, so let's dig into the anxious preoccupied attachment. Essentially, the way this shows up is that someone that is anxious preoccupied tends to have somewhat of a negative view of self at times. It may not be a constant negative view, but it definitely creeps up. And then also someone with an anxious preoccupied looks at other people through a really positive lens. So because of that dynamic of maybe not the most positive view of self, a really positive view of other people, it can set up an imbalance where the person that has this style, especially if it's a primary driver for them, you're going to maybe find that you're looking for other people to validate you, or you may find that at times you're worried that other people don't see your worth, they don't see your goodness, and they're going to wake up one day and realize that you're not all that, right? It's also this idea where you may find yourself at times looking for other people to validate you or to kind of make you feel better about yourself rather than being able to internally regulate that emotion and see your worth. It's very common for people to develop this sort of a style of relating to others when they do have a bit more of that internal, don't know if I like myself, don't really see my goodness. And so what I try to get my clients to do is to learn how to refocus on the elements that are good, giving yourself permission, almost seeing yourself through the lens that someone else may see you through, rather than being so judgmental and quick to only point out the negative qualities about yourself. I'm not asking you to act like you don't feel those things, but I am asking you to bring balance into your experience so that it's not all negative all the time, all day long, right? Because that's going to be very overwhelming, and it's going to start to feel like all you do is think about the negative aspects of how you're showing up, and you may actually start to question the reasons that someone else would even want to be with you. Or friends. It doesn't always have to be romantic relationships, but it's very common with the anxious preoccupied style to have a lot of internal questioning, sort of a negative tape that plays in your head and sort of gives you the worst case scenario that maybe the people in your life are going to pull away and not want to stay connected to you. So one of the best things that you can do is just start to bring that awareness and, kind of give yourself permission to think about it through a different point of view, rather than staying fused with the anxious preoccupied attachment style, giving yourself some other inputs, or just allowing yourself to maybe have a check-in with a partner or a friend or someone that you can go, okay, if you notice that I am going to that negative place, I'm going to the negative warehouse, if you will, what can I do or what can you do to help me see that? And maybe it's just that every now and then you check in with this accountability partner. Not that you're relying on them to validate you, but that you're asking them to sort of call you on it anytime you're spiraling down that path. But I do want you to remember that nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken if you show up this way. And I think that sometimes people hear the attachment styles and they think it's a label or it's something to be ashamed of or it's something that has to be fixed. And although I do want you to manage it, I want you to learn how to bring it from the subconscious up to the conscious level, I don't want you to use it as additional reasons to beat yourself up, okay? So That is kind of the anxious, preoccupied attachment style in a nutshell. Yes, we can totally dig into more detail, but there's only so long that I want to keep you guys on the hook, and I don't want you to feel like you've got to spend your entire day listening to this video. But let me know what questions you have. Let me know how I can further kind of elaborate on these points to give you more insight into how this specific style shows up. And then over the coming weeks, I'm going to be digging into the other styles as well so that you'll have a really good high-level understanding of how the different attachment styles show up. And then you can really start to apply some various tools in your life to help manage things. So I hope you keep living your best life, and I will be back next week with lots more.